killing the man, JD and Zero. Right before you.
How would I feel about a remake or a remaster of the Metal Gear Solid series? I would be 100% in favor of a remake of the Metal Gear Solid series. Mainly if they promised not to change any of the key story beats with any dumb shit. If they keep the story one-to-one, I think the gameplay in all of them can be tweaked. I think you could, and the reason I say remake instead of remaster, and this is just fresh after playing the first three, if you remake those games, you would be rebuilding it from the ground up. So you could really dial in the stealth mechanics a lot better. The stealth mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 1 are basically stay out of the blue triangle. The stealth mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 2 are basically stay out of the blue triangle. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a lot better with that, and then this obviously improves it even more. But really, the first two games, that's the stealth mechanic. It's not very much more complicated than that. I think you could do a lot more with what you learned from Metal Gear Solid 3 and 4, and do a little bit more with Metal Gear Solid 1 with that. I also think that Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 have the most potential to have their boss fights improved by a remake instead of a remaster. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 with the footprints, that was absolutely, and the sounds with like walking through the water on the ground were way ahead of their time. Unfortunately, you can do silly things like lead the guards in infinite circles with the footprints, so they'll wander around in circles ad infinitum and stuff like that. And I think you can do more with that. I think that stands to be the thing that improves the most, is improving the stealth aspects and improving the boss battles. Doing those two things, I think, would be fantastic. That would be the best. Metal Gear Solid 3, I believe, would suffer, or would probably could use a remake, just simply for the fact that I think it could do a little bit better with how everything was connected with the network covered everything. In Metal Gear Solid 1, Shadow Moses is a character, right? When you go back to Shadow Moses in Metal Gear Solid 4, you feel like you're revisiting a character. In Metal Gear Solid 2, the tanker less so, but Big Shell is a character. That you have distinct memories of Big Shell. When you go through the jungle in Metal Gear Solid 3, you feel like you're traversing bullshit. At least me. This is just my opinion, mind you. You feel like you're traversing bullshit to get to different set pieces. And I like that less than something. I feel like you could have done more to make different areas of the jungle feel more alive. You could have done more with that. That's just my opinion. Granted, marvel of its time, it's a fantastic game. You would pay $100 a pop to have Metal Gear Solid 1 to 4 on the same engine as Metal Gear Solid 5, same story, new engine, audio. Imagine Metal Gear Solid 3 in the world of Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 suffers a little bit from being too big. Things are a little bit too segmented. There are not enough points of interest in the world. But imagine if you shrunk that down and put Metal Gear Solid 3 in that world. That would be the perfect game. I mean, honestly, the depth of those boss battles, a condensed world that feels alive like that, and being able to work in that. Now, I'm not saying you utilize the helicopter, obviously, because you're on a big sneaking mission. No one's supposed to know you're there, but you would, you could make it work. I think that would probably be the best way to do 3. 1 and 2 you could do differently, but 3 would benefit greatly from that. I don't know how you would do Metal Gear Solid 4 on that engine, to be truthful, other than just have the smoother gameplay and gunplay. I think Metal Gear Solid 4, I mean, we just completed it. It stands up to anything I've played within the last 5 years.
Powered by the industrial.
Put it in that world and no loading screens. Nut, abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely, man. That would be just fan-damn-tastic, to be honest with you. A seamless world like that. Have, you know, small subsections of, you know, you could have the really dense jungle that leads down to the streams, and you could have the swamp area be its own thing, and, you know, you could have them have a swamp base, stuff like that. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely love that. There's so much potential to port those old worlds, those old stories into a new skeleton, and that would be amazing. Yeah, I hope it happens someday. I'm optimistic that it'll happen someday. I hope that it transpires a little bit like that, but you know, who knows? We'll just have to see. There's been rumors here for the past few years that there's been Metal Gear Solid project attached to Blue Point Games, which if you don't know who they are the ones who did the masterful remake of Demon Souls, which is great. Now that game has its problems. They obviously didn't update some of the skeleton the game was built off of, so it still retains some of those old PS3 janky problems. But as far as the game looks, it's probably one of the best looking titles on the PS5 to this day. Well, actually, I take that back, because the Death Stranding director's cut actually looked really fantastic. I would probably put that up there with one of the best looking games on there. Yeah, you read that yesterday, actually? Yeah, it's been on and off for the past couple years. I think ever since they announced that Demon Souls was coming out, that their name has been attached to one of those projects. Now, I'm not an industry insider. I hope it's true. I would really like to see something like that. Even if it's just a reskinned Metal Gear Solid with a little bit tighter controls, I'd be okay with that, to be honest with you. Experience that world again with a little bit upgraded visuals. I would be down. I would probably buy it day one, to be truthful. Honestly, anything Metal Gear Solid that comes out, I would probably buy day one, just because it's been so long. So we are still hanging out with old Mr. Vegetable Zero here. But yeah, so, and like I said, those are all asterisk, my opinion, but I think there's a lot of potential that if you could get everybody on board to do that, and if you could get the right people to sign off. You and me both, bruh. Honestly, I would even settle for just a Metal Gear Solid running at 60 FPS. Yeah, there may be mods on the PC version that might work for that. I didn't use a FPS meter when I was running. I think I was only getting, what is it, like 30 off of it, but I don't know. I didn't pay that. I was just happy that it was running at that point, because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to do it after I found out my original PlayStation disc was damaged. So it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing that I did. I didn't think to try to tweak anything with it.